Hello, my name is Elise Johnson, if you don't already know that. I am a hairstylist. I graduated around 10 years ago. I've been doing hair out of my home for 10 years, but my main gig is hanging out with these rascals, and so I do it very much on the side, but I wanted to teach you guys while we are not gathering during quarantine how to do some basic cuts. You have to focus over here. Just so that you are able to cut your kids' hair or your husband's hair. Maybe if you're feeling brave, reckless, a little insane from the quarantine, your own hair. I don't technically recommend that, but I can't stop you. Anyway, so yeah, right now we're gonna do Boaz's hair. I'm gonna give him an undercut, which just means really tight on the sides and longer up front. He parts it and likes to style it one direction, and so yeah, I'm gonna show you what I do on the sides and up top. I have a couple other kids who also need haircuts and they need some different things, and so yeah, I'll show you those in different videos. So to get started, his hair is fairly clean right now. The main thing isn't for it to be perfectly clean, definitely not wet, but nothing sticky in there. So jam, syrup, if they like styling product like he does, yeah, that will get caught in clippers and it'll just, yeah, kind of make a mess. So just fairly clean so that it should be fairly smooth and not painful for them. And then I'm going to use my clippers here. I will put a link probably in the comments or however I do this for basic ones you can get. Yeah, I like shears where quality really, really does matter. Clippers, it's more forgiving. Get away. And so on the sides, I am gonna do, probably a 2. I think that for you guys, starting here, I'm gonna have you come and look here. I set up all of my guards here so you can kind of see a little bit of sizes that come with the majority of packs. 1, 2, 3. Obviously this is the shortest other than having no guard on it at all. And then 8 is fairly long. I could do that up top, but I'm gonna cut it with my shears to kind of show you guys that. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do a 2. It's probably wise for you guys to start with something not the shortest so that in case there's some happenings, you could go shorter if you need to. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the 2. A 2 is still pretty short, and so yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have my good looking cameraman come over here. I'm gonna wrap my clippers around here so that the cord isn't moving all over the place. I'm gonna have his chin go down. Okay, I'm gonna start right here.
Mommy, can I feel that?
Clippers. And then I'm just going to do little chunks so that my clippers don't, oh, no thank you. Clippers don't clog up at all. Please stop. Thank you. And then I'm doing in fairly small chunks. Hey Boaz, go ahead and hold still and put your chin to your chest. It is really important that you try to get your kids or whoever you're doing this on to hold really still and in their head in the direction that you want them. Right now, his head is pointed down, but at some point it'll go up.
His head is bald.
It's not bald.
I'm
not
bald.
Move over here.
You don't know it's bald.
I'd love if you guys went outside. If you want cobbler later. Okay, so I'm actually going to move this over here. I'll untie a little bit so that what I'm doing is going to where there's kind of going to be a part, okay? I'm kind of looking at this line. And we're just going to make sure as you go with this, you can kind of use this to just kind of go straight up so it's not totally I don't have a total 2 right there, but I am kind of blending it by not going with the curve of his head, but just kind of going up like that. As I do this, as I work around, I'm gonna continue to go over this and maybe even kind of lift the hair with either my comb or my fingers. Back here, I will just kind of blend as he's got a little whirl back here, which is pretty cute. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other sides. Okay, around the ears, it is really important. I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people do when they cut their kids' hair is to not really do around the ears as much, or just kind of not the perimeter as well. So we're gonna fold back the ears as much as possible without hurting them. Some ears have more cartilage than others. Some kids mind it more than others, but still, even, I mean, as much as you can do. Sometimes you can do it with the clippers, and sometimes you need to actually get the shears out and do that, and I can show you how to do that later. I'm going to continue to do this right here. All right. Looks pretty good. Oh, excuse me. Oops, sorry. I know. And Bo, this doesn't hurt, does it?
No.
No. See? Not scary. All right. Then what I'm going to do is make sure that it's even in front. I know. You can also take a hair dryer on cold and just kind of shoot it at their necks and try to get them. I know that sometimes the itchiness and the hairiness can be the hardest part for a kid. Okay, hold really still. It's not going to take that much longer. These are pretty short situations. You're doing so good. Okay, right now I'm looking at where I made both of my lines. Let's see here. I am planning on, with this guy, you part your hair on this side, right?
Kind of on the right.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You do this one?
Yeah, right.
You're right.
Yeah, we're right.
Does that look right? Does he usually do that one? I feel like it's usually on the other side. But you know what we can do? We can do a cut where it's available to go on either. And so, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just going to make sure it's nice and clean on this side too. I'll kind of use this one, this little edge here, to kind of be my guide, where I'm kind of using that almost like a comb. Again, using this side now as I do that. Right. All right, looks pretty good. I've gone over it pretty well. I can take the neck trimmers and my shears to it to make sure that everything looks good and is trimmed up around the perimeter, which just means the outside fence of your hair. So what I'm gonna do now is take my spray bottle and actually wet down the top, and I'm gonna just trim it up here and kind of show you, yeah, how to use shears up here. Okay, I've got my little towel. How you doing, bud?
Good.
Yeah. You ready to get sprayed a little? Usually it's fun. He's got pretty long hair right now.
You were ready to spray my brother.
Yeah. I'm kind of always ready to give you guys a little spray bottle bath, like cats. Okay, what I'm gonna do while I'm doing this up here, do you mind going outside? Where I'm actually gonna start back here, and if you wanna come over here. What I'm doing is there is going to be some level of disconnect, but I am going to kind of, here, actually, you know what, this is a good reminder. This is when you tell them to hold still, and their chin is no longer all the way down, but you're just facing forward and keeping a really, really straight head, okay? You can do this, I totally trust you. Right now, I'm going to kind of take this, and I am just kind of, I had already cut it a little bit at an angle, And that's what I'm going to do with this again, just to trim it up. It is still, undercuts are disconnected. It's really tight here. It's more crew cuts that are blended. And I'm going to do that with my son August, and I'll show you then what I do with it. I'm just going to kind of follow that same line that I'm doing, but then I will show you that, here, be right behind, right here. This is how we're gonna check that as we do it. We're gonna change from going this way to then check it by going this way. And see, now I can have an idea. And that's more of a, at the very end, we're gonna check everything by doing that. So then I'm gonna go, hey, don't play with your hair. All right, are you sitting up straight? Awesome. I'm gonna keep following that line in the center where I'm just kind of parting it a little this way, parting it a little over here, and just kind of grabbing this chunk for my comb. And I'm just gonna take, just gonna kind of point cut about 1/2 inch off for him because he doesn't mind. He likes kind of the length. He likes to style it. I'm gonna do that, and I am kind of, it is shorter here and it's going just ever so slightly longer right now, and then we'll see what else we need to do about that. But then, so I just did the center, and then I can do my side piece where I again am kind of point cutting about 1/2 inch off.
How many jobs does Grandma have?
Grandma has, I don't know, like 2 or 3. I'm actually 3rd generation hairstylist. My grandma was a hairstylist, and my mom is as well, an awesome one. So it's kind of a cool family tradition to pass down.
My sister is kind of art. She's kind of an artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. Okay, so then I'm going to go through, like I said, and kind of check it from here. I did my lines this way, but then I'm going to come back and change my angle so that I'm making sure that things are fairly even. So look at that. It's a little shorter on this side, so I'm going to go through and just even out my line. So then that's better. Hey, Bo, no, yeah, look this way, kiddo. Again, let's avoid really blunt cuts because you're just going to have a bunch of really, it's going to just look really blocky and like stairs. And that drives me crazy.
Do I have to have this guy?
Every so often in church, I just want to like bring my texturizer and shears and just come up behind someone and just like either texturize their layers or trim their necks when they have a little too much party in the back. And anyways, I need to focus on Jesus more consistently in church. But anyways, if you do it this way, then you will distract no one in church. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. We have less length, and let's see here, this looks good. What I'm gonna do though is kind of cut it on this side because I know that he parts it. I'm actually going to kind of take, knowing that he's got this line, I'm gonna make this line go up a little bit higher just so that it's not sagging too much. Again, I'm kind of just doing triangular points, not really blunt ones, but still straight. Oh, you're doing so good holding still. We're almost done, buddy.
Can't wait to have raspberry cobbler,
Blackberry cobbler.
blackberry cobbler, and ice cream. It's gonna be so good.
Me too, buddy.
It's gonna be awesome.
What date is it?
Today's Monday. Is that what you meant?
No, I meant like March.
Oh, March. I don't know. It's quarantine, baby. There are no more dates. We don't know what day it is. Okay, so I have made it so that he will part it on this side. It looks pretty good. If he went ahead and parted it on that side. You know what? I could actually do that too. Let me just change that. Let me just make sure that it's not too low over here. Make that more of a straight line so it's not too saggy. And then I'm just going to kind of look. It's also drying right now. Okay, so going and putting it back over here. I'm looking at the top. I overall like the shape. It's kind of like an egg, let's face it. But it's even, I'm looking at, it's all just really about...
I don't want hair like an egg.
No, you don't look like an egg, but I'm trying to explain just basic shapes. Everything is, all of this is kind of just basic shapes. Doing lines that are just one point to another. Yeah, I like the way that that looks. Let's see here. I'm going to right now make sure that with pretty much every cut, you're just going to want to still make sure, I know you're doing so good, hold still, okay, that you do bring it forward and you just check, because it's not always going to be styled, and you do want to make sure, I know, hey bud, hang in there, think of ice cream, my friend, that you are bringing it forward, and hold really still right now. Point cutting, again, not doing a blunt cut. Still, like, I'm gonna kind of make it a little bit of a U right here. We don't want super straight across. Hey, Bo, I know you're doing so good, bud. You're almost done. And in order to finish, you've got to hold still and keep your head up, okay? Alrighty. There's our new puppy barking up front. All right, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side.
I've had about like 10 days with them already.
I've had about a week. It's going very well. Okay, and then
2.5 weeks, I think.
Okay, so that's looking really good. I think it looks really good on him. I think he's really gonna enjoy that. And what he likes to, but you know what? I think I'm actually going to go through here and actually make this a little tighter right here, since this is his part. That's what I'm gonna do right here. So,
Probably already dry, but it's still kind of cold.
again, I combed where I wanted his part, and then I'm just kind of using this as a lot of my guide. And I'm just gonna...
Dad, we should probably get with Zach sometime because the wind has come down.
All right, I like that better. So I've got these handy dandy battery operated neck trimmers, which I love. And right here, I'm actually gonna give him, hey, do you want, should ask him first. Do you want a cool line in there, like a part?
Yeah.
Okay, so he likes this. Practice your lines first, and as a reward for all of your hard homework, you can buzz shapes into your kid's face. So right here, because these are just kind of can be a little tricky, what I'm going to do is just start right here and just kind of still. Oh, you got to hold really still, bud. So that it's more of a distinct part. I'm not going to go super, super extreme on him. But check that out. That's pretty cool. Just a line on the side. Bo, you'll be able to see it in a second. And then you just kind of...
Only on one side, though.
Yep, only on one side, because then you're going to... It's your parting side, and then you're going to do it on the other.
Can I see it?
Hey.
I didn't have that right.
So, hey, look at Dad. Pretty cool, huh? So, here's what I'm going to go through and do with my shears. I'm going to take these texturizing shears and kind of go through with the same lines that I did the cut in, and just take a little bit of hair out, weight out, so it's not so so thick, so blunt. Taking some weight out of a men's cut does make them be able to style it a little better, add some dimension to their cuts.
I get away from this.
Hey, August.
Get
Right now, please.
He's very annoying.
Oh, come on. All right. I can even, let's see here, I'm going to go through. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's easy to smack people around with the comb. Yeah, he has taught his hair how to part on the side because he has been styling it that way for a couple months now. Hair has memory, sort of, so you can train it to go one way or the other. So his does lay flatter right now. It didn't always do that, and what I did when it was learning how to is just took this part and especially texturized this area just kind of at an angle so that it was lighter right here, and it just went that way better. See? A little bit of a angle. That way it's just gonna help it directionally. I'm gonna do that back here a little. Kind of take some of that blunt edge off. Uh-oh. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of some guys really like the really blunt edge on the side that they part it to. So it'll be really still okay. But we're gonna blend it a little better. I know, I'm sorry.
Almost time to hit me with the point.
And then right here where there's often swirls and whirls and all sorts of fun shapes and hair going everywhere, I'm just gonna kind of grab it and then with my, if I can, then with my texturizing shears, just kind of take some of it out. That way it lays a little better, a little flatter. Nope, you gotta still face that way. Thanks, honey. You're almost done. You were looking like the shaggy dog earlier anyway. You really needed this. So that way it's not so much. I could even, if I wanted to, take it a little lower. Take this part out. Hold really still, Boaz, okay? Yeah, that holds a little better. And he does, I could also just take that part out. The part that won't sit like this. Just take some of the length off. And he styles his hair with some
Hair product.
Hair product, yeah. So it's pretty good. All right.
That comber is made blue.
Okay, so then what we're gonna do now is I am gonna go through and show you how to use the neck trimmers to do around just on their necks, by their ears. That is pretty important because oftentimes we do the middle and then just scraggles are left and they look more like homemade haircuts, not in a good way. Okay, so come on over here. So I'm gonna start in the middle. Boaz, you're gonna be super still for this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have you put your chin to your chest again, all the way down. I'm gonna start in the middle and we're just kind of working on doing a nice line right here. And then we're just taking the natural kind of U shape and we're just doing a line to kind of connect it to right here, and I'm pulling the ear down. And then what I can do, if there was more hair right here, I did take it off. I'm just gonna kind of go like that with it, where just kind of the edge. Yeah, and that looks really nice. And then, nope, don't do that. And then I'm kind of just taking it right here, somewhere around here, because the guy doesn't need sideburns because he's 7 years old. Okay, you want sideburns, all right. And then I'm gonna again take that little hairy area, even if they're just like fine little baby hairs, can just be like kind of really annoying. So again, I'm just kind of following this line from point to point, making it a fairly, even if it's not a straight line, just a smooth curved line. And then I'm gonna take it and again, kind of using this point, put his ear back and then do that, and I can do the same thing from the front, kind of take it back, okay, and then again just evening that out. Yeah, and then if your kid's hair is a little longer, I would just make sure that you're also anything that goes like right here, maybe getting it with just like comb and scissors or something. But yeah.
I'm ready for that dessert.
You're ready for that dessert? Okay, so I'm gonna send Bo to go and style his hair with his product in the bathroom and then come back and show us how awesome he looks. In the meantime, I will... It's right here. Oh, let me just show them real quick. I got him Suave Professional Men. It's $3 at Walmart because he's 7 years old, and $3 is the exact amount I'm going to spend on a child's hair product. There you go. When he gets a job, he can buy expensive product. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Sometimes when you've been doing things for a really long time, you just naturally do them, and you're like, what is it that I needed to know before I knew all of this stuff? So if you have any questions, let me know. I have a couple more haircuts to do, so if I have only covered things that you already know, tell me what else you need to know. And then also, just as a reminder, the most important things in life, hair is not in the top, even 5. On a scale from 1 to 10, if 10 is like orphans, starving, and racism and genocide and really hard things, and then like a 1 is how butter gets too cold and you can't spread it on bread, which is very annoying. Hair is under 5. It's not really important. So during this time where we're quarantining and we're not seeing our hairstylists, don't freak out. If your roots grow out, if your hair is kind of like straw, if everything is just feeling yucky and annoying, I get that it's already kind of hard mental health wise right now, and it's nice to, can be rejuvenating to feel good about yourself, but still, I just want to remind you that it is okay. It's not very important, and we're all gonna get through this, and it's gonna be fine. And to be super cliche, beauty is on the inside. So, there are more important things. Okay, Bo, you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. So he styled it. He put some pomade in there. I would do it more messy if it was me, but he likes the pretty slicked look. But it's pretty cool. He's got a styling thing. It's really short on the sides. Got this really cool, but kind of still subtle line in there. And yeah, some texture. He likes it still pretty slicked back, but yeah. And then we're gonna put his collar back, which I had tucked under for the cut, and call it a day, huh, buddy? So I hope that's been helpful. And again, let me know if you have any more questions. And I will do less of a in-style cut and more of just a basic crew cut with my son August. I wanted to start with Bo because, believe it or not, Bo is probably one of the best ones as far as sitting still. August is 5 and doesn't care about anything and has very little motivation to sit still and obey me because he doesn't care about looking good or listening that much. So yeah. And then also be doing my daughter's hair. She has about shoulder length hair and she just needs a trim. She's been growing out an A-line bob that I gave her last summer, but I think just still teaching how to, showing some tips when it comes to just basic trim, taking about ½ an inch off. That's kind of what we all just need to get done every few months. Yeah, should be good. So see you next time.
Bye.